Oh yeah, I'm about to cook you. This is for all you bed Pan-Africans and Eurasian scavengers that still be in my content section. This one will be a slow roast. I'm gonna cook you real good. Slow and steady type shit. Let's get into it. For y'all that don't know what's going on, let me put y'all on game right quick. So these people behind me are the Mayan people, right? One of the most ancient American Indian civilizations in the Americas. They came up with the base number 0, different hieroglyphics. As you can see, this how they depicted themselves. If you look all the way at the top, you see the auntie right there with the locks poking out of the back of her head wrap, like our women still do today, right? But we got these bad Pan-Africans and these Eurasian Mongols telling me these people ain't my people, even though they are the ancestors of the Creek Indians. And I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't let y'all keep spreading that misinformation. So let me teach you a little bit more, since you don't just believe me showing you shit like this already. Now, before we get further into this session, let's recap what happened before. Now, I told you that they had locks, and this how they depicted themselves. What people do that shit culturally. It ain't just no stylistic shit. It's something deeper for some, you feel me? But you want to know that. And before we proceed, I want to say in this session, we gotta dodge the hijack, because we know there are many different type of negroid peoples around the world that didn't come from Africa, whether it be North America, South America, the Melanesian Islands, the Polynesian Islands, Australia, fucking Papua New Guinea, all different type of peoples all over the world. I can show you pictures right now, but you can do the research, you feel me, on the Aboriginal peoples of those lands, and they look just like me, you understand? So let's dodge the hijacking this shit, because they're gonna be saying some African shit, but when they say African, they're talking about negroid looking peoples. Let's get that straight. See, I was doing some research, and I came across this article right here, right? How a genetic trait in black people can give the police cover. When they carried the body of a 32-year-old black man named Lamont Perry out of the woods in Waynesboro, North Carolina. Keep in mind, Albert Perry, he was from South Carolina, the man that was found with the oldest DNA in the world, to have the oldest Y chromosome in the world. But let's get back to the article. There were no protests over his sudden death in the police custody. There were no reporters camped at the scene. No lawyers filed suit. Instead, the final mark in the ledger of Mr. Perry's life was made by a state medical examiner who attributed his death in large part to sickle cell trait, a genetic characteristic that's overwhelmingly found in black people. He died by accident. You know, that was some bullshit. But the examiner, in doing my research, I came across things like this. In addition, eyewitness accounts of SSA populations in the Caribbean and Mexico. Anthropologists have found SSA skeletons at pre-Columbian sites. Some of the ancient Mayan skeletal remains indicate that they suffer from sickle cell anemia, an illness associated with sub-Saharan Africans, which is not dodge the hijack. The presence of sickle cell anemia among the ancient Maya supports quadriphagists claim the Choctaw Maya were Africans, which they weren't. They were indigenous Americans. How can the Mayan civilization, which taught the Egyptians what they know, be Africans? Nah, let's dodge the hijack. Their civilization is older than most African civilizations, if not all. Archaeologists have found numerous SSA or black Native American skeletons in Mexico, some of them showing evidence of sickle cell anemia. That suggests Africans were in Mexico before the advent Christopher Columbus and other Europeans. Then this guy by the name of Dr. Clyde Winters did some research and wrote an article of what he believed to be true and the sickle cell anemia that was found in the Mayan, American Indians, and other indigenous Mexican cultures and Caribbean peoples. Now you can look down here and you can read. I'm not gonna go through all of this, but as you can see, even though they say African and the so-called Africans came before Columbus, that's not true. The American Indians were the Aboriginal, melanated peoples that went to other lands to teach them and to help them to cultivate and grow in different formats, whether it be spiritually, scientifically, or with artifacts, architects, you feel me, all type of shit. I'm not gonna get into all of that, right? Now, if you look down here, it say Mesoamerican is the geographical name for Mexico and the countries of Central America. Today, people believe that the blacks of Mexico and the blacks of Guatemala, Honduras, Belize are descendants of the sub-Saharan slaves taken to Mexico during the Atlantic slave trade, which I'm gonna prove to you how that's fucking cap. Now, that last article was dated in 2015, but right here, as you can see, bone change in sickle cell anemia with similar changes observed in the skull of ancient Mayan Indians. Moore Journal, Missouri Journal of the Missouri Medical Education, 1929. So they been knew this shit. Then you got in the book by Yvonne Sertima, which, you know what I mean, you can speak as you will, but you can't deny the facts. Just dodge the hijack. But as you see up here, it says it should be mentioned in this connection the serological surveys of the Lacandon Indians, the most secluded of the Maya tribes, conducted at the 1960s. Dr. Alfonso de Guerra, energy in Mexico indicated early and extensive contact. The Laconian Africans' negroid characteristics have been found in their blood, although they have not been known to mix with outsiders in post-Columbian times. Dr. D. Guerra's report includes, among other tribes, a reference to the sickle cell and malaria-resistant mutant gene usually found only in the blood of black people. Now let's proceed. What you did know too, in the area where the Mayan ruled, which is the Yucatan Peninsula, Guatemala, Honduras, Costa Rica, Belize, and all that area, they got a coast over there off Honduras called the Mosquito Coast, which is associated with malaria, and that's why people have sickle cell in the first place, to be able to fight off malaria. But let's proceed. Now I'm just showing you a couple maps. As you can see, this is the Mosquito Coast in South America off the coast of Honduras. Just a little closer look. Just a little older look. Now right here, this is just something I wanted to show you. This is the most common mosquitoes found in the U.S. and this is mostly where our people had our strongest empires at, even though we populated all of these lands. Now I want to let y'all see what Professor Constantine said in 1832. Now this ain't got nothing to do with the sickle cell, even though I have proven now substantially that the Mayans were quote-unquote black people or negroid peoples, which are just melanated American Indians, aka Aboriginals. But y'all can see here, to many the fact of the old black nations in America will be new, yet is an important feature of American history. I will be here merely enumerate the black tribes of which I have found evident traces and remains in North and South America, and y'all can pause and read that right there. Now I want you to pause and read what Carlos Cuervo Marquez said in 1920. I ain't gotta say much, you know what I mean? That's pretty much cover everything. You nut chasers, y'all just need to face the truth, man. Do the fucking research and do your genealogies. Peace, power, and love to all my people.